Hi everyone, it's Pixel Cadet right here. Today it's Sunday, I'm still in my laundry room. Apologies for the noise because my 3D printer is still running. I hope it's still manageable. I just want to give you a quick update about my latest project. So far I've been making dice launchers, and there are two finished models that is out there. If you guys are interested to try and 3D print them yourself, you can get them with the link below. So far I have this dice pistol with a shell ejecting mechanism, and it can shoot single dice for each load. And then I also made this dice blunderbuss. This thing is a bit slightly bigger than the dice pistol, but with this you can shoot multiple dice at once. It's not shell ejecting, but still breech loading, and it comes also with a different shell for you to load your dice into. So I think since I got these two things working and I kind of already got the mechanism a bit, I decided to kind of like up the game a bit and thinking to come up with something with a different mechanism. And at the same time, I also watched this super cool series on Prime Videos called Vox Machina, based on a really famous campaign from wonderful people from Critical Role. And as you guys can guess, maybe my favorite character there is Percy. He holds a really cool looking ancient gun, not ancient, like a classic gun. I think the type of that gun in real life called pepperbox. And I thought, oh yeah, that would be cool if I can make a pepperbox that shoots dice. And long story short, that would be my next project. So in this video I'm just gonna share with you some update about it. It's slightly different from what I used to make. It's not a log entry or a build instruction video, but since I think this is my most intricate build so far, requires a lot of mechanisms and a lot of small objects, so I was thinking to kind of create a special videos of me sharing more about the process of how I made this. So as of now, I managed to design everything from scratch using Tinkercad. I also kind of loosely based the design on a bunch of references of an actual pepperbox gun from the internet. I sadly couldn't use the Percy's gun from Vox Machina as a base or as a reference, not only because of internal property issues, but also with the current shell mechanism, that type of build would be too small and I cannot use my dice shell in the same weapon. So I need to come up with a different build, and this is what I came up so far. I printed the first version of the gun. They're all printed in parts. This is the barrels. This is the grip. Oh, by the way, as you guys see, it has only 4 barrels rotating. Also breech loading, so that it will break open like this. You insert the shell, close and shoot. The thing that I'm still not really sure about is whether I can make this barrel turns pretty big, also quite heavy, so let's see. And then a bunch of other parts. I also printed this small parts right here. This is all the thing that will make everything going, so hopefully it will work. printed those in a higher infill percentage than the outer parts. Hopefully that it will has bigger structure integrity, if that's even a word. Anyway, yeah, so what I was thinking, right, most design of pepperbox, I think from what I saw from the internet, it doesn't have a bracket on top at the front, so it's all just like a huge barrel hanging, I assume, with a long rod that is going through the grip like this. I'm not really confident with my designing and mechanical engineering skill yet, so as a workaround I came up with a barrel like this. I know it's not a barrel, it's a barrel frame. Looks a bit more like you know, this design, like old design from of Gatling gun from Western movies. It has like a barrel frame like this, so I kind of borrowed that mechanism. So the way I was thinking is the front part of the barrel will be held using this small hole and an axis that goes through the middle, but since it's gonna be a, what it's called again, breech loading, and you breaks open the barrel, I cannot have the axis going through all the way to the back. So I came up with this ring that wheel goes around the barrel, especially the back part of the barrel. And since the surface has railing here, it will hold like this, and you know, it will turn, and then this thing connects to the ring part and goes all the way like so. So yeah, that's what I think might work. Again, this is all just like in my head, trying to simulate everything in 3D while I was designing this on Tinkercad. So, and since this is the first time I'm printing them, I'm gonna test it out and hope that it will work. Anyway, enough rambling. So I think I'm gonna cut to a montage of me assembling this for the first time, and you can judge at the end of that montage whether I will cry in pain or jumping around in joy. Just gonna cut to the montage. So I guess you can see from the video, I mean, most of the stuff are assembling nicely. It's just some detailed stuff that I still need to fix, but this is what I got so far. It's pretty huge for a weapon. It's more like a hand cannon than a pistol, but doesn't mean that this thing works yet. I realize here that somehow let's try it here. Oh shit, how does it rotate anymore? I think I think this frame right here at the bottom that is parallel to the barrel, I need to give a bit more gap because now it kind of drags the barrel a bit, so it rotates not so smoothly. And I just realized the lever that will rotate the barrel, it's I think too thin compared to the whole weight that it needs to leverage. So I'm not sure when I put all 4 shells inside with plus the weight of the barrel itself, if that tiny things right here can pull up and rotate everything. That also what brings us to the next point. If you see here, the lever goes up. I'll bring it a bit closer. Lever goes up when we cock the gun, and then assuming if there is something here, it folds back. But then when it folds back, there is no way it can go back down by itself. It means that I need to create a spring that will suspend and make sure that the default position of the lever is always pointing downwards. So that's the second problem. And third problem is that this thing right here is the plate that's supposed to turn the entire barrel. And the way I was thinking it should work is it doubles also as a lever for you to pull out the empty shells. But I just realized that it's not long enough. So yes, you can slide the shell nicely like this, but I just don't think it's like has enough gap for people to freely unload and load. So I'm gonna make this a bit longer. And the last problem is this thing. This is the weirdest one. So I created this mechanism here, and it's meant to stop the barrel when it rotates to make sure that it stops and align with the center of the trigger, and it should connect to one of these holes right here. It's so weird that when I cock the gun it goes inside, but then when I release the thing it goes out, which is the opposite. You want to make this thing goes out while we cock the gun so that it stops the barrel and make sure that it aligns with the trigger, and when you pull the trigger this thing goes back and making it ready for the next rotation. So it's fucking weird, and I don't know. I need to go back and check what's happening with this one. But all in all, this is how it looks like. I'm surprised that it looks actually kind of cool. It was a bit too big, like I mentioned at the beginning, but there is no way for me to making it even smaller. And it's because of the size of the shell. This is the smallest size of the shell I can make, because smaller than this I don't think I can keep all the rubber band, hook and the latch in the same place. And just because I can only house a die shell this big, then it means that the barrel needs to be somehow bigger and the rest needs to follow. So yeah, that was it guys. Still plenty of mistake. I mean, it could get worse for a first print. At least now I know what I need to work on. Normally the way I will tackle this is I'm gonna start listing out the mistake, testing it out one by one from one side to another. So I have the total list of that and turn it into a to-do list and make sure that I systematically adjust this whole point one by one on Tinkercad for the next print. But yeah, it was a kind of cool build. I was surprised that it will look as cool as this. I'm quite happy actually with the way it looks, because it doesn't look really convincing on Tinkercad when I was designing this, but I mean, with the build and everything, think it's kind of cool. Let me know what you guys think, and if you also have some tips or ideas, solution that might be helpful for the problems I mentioned. I will really appreciate that. And also, if you're interested into this type of thing, toy making, 3D printing, board games, consider subscribe my channel, because you're gonna see a ton more of similar stuff from me. So yeah, thank you again, and see you in the next video.